I'm Lee Iridium. Hope you're doing all right. Album review from the car again today. So, this is the second album for this band called Kikimora. Or Kikimora. I'm not 100% sure. Named after an ancient spirit, apparently. So, interesting name for a band. Bulgarian band. So, different. Very different. And this album's called Dirty Nails. It was out on Friday, May the 14th on Escape Music. Second album, apparently, and I believe the first album was done in the band's native Bulgarian language, but this one is in English. So, Nicola, oh my God, these names, man. I should just go first names, because I'm not too bad at some of them. Nikola Zdravkov on vocals. Nikola Kotzen on guitar, Alexander Antov on keyboards and Hammond organ, Nikolay Zetkov on bass, and Nikolay Todorov on the drums. A lot of similar names, probably a lot of like sniffs in the English language or something like that. I don't know how it works in Bulgaria, but in case anyone doesn't know, Nikola Kotzev had a band called Brazen Abbott, which had a few famous classic rock and metal vocalists on his albums a few years ago. But this is Kikimora, his next project, his new project. So this is very much in the classic rock genre, without a doubt. Late 70s, very early 80s, that Deep Purple Rainbow type classic rock. Now, with this album, for me, it's okay. It's all right. I could easily listen to it. I think everything about it is good. It didn't blow me away, and the reason for that mainly is I walked away from this album and thought it was good, but nothing hooked me in. So it's very epic sounding. The vocalist is fantastic. So Nikola Zdravkov is an amazing vocalist in that classic rock genre, in the way of Tony Martin, you know, that sort of real, can hit some real heights. So, you know, we're talking real powerful classic rock vocalist here. You know, he's up there with a lot of top vocalists in the past and the present. One thing I did notice about this album is the mix. Now, although everything's very clear, it's quite bright, you can hear everything, I wish the guitar was louder in the mix. I really do. It's almost as if it's hand in hand with the Hammond organ. Hammond organ isn't one of my favourite things, I must admit. I don't mind it now and again, if it's used correctly. But Hammond organ's quite a big part of this classic rock album, as classic rock in the 70s did have. I just wish the guitar would have been louder and crunchier in the mix, that's all. Especially in the faster tracks, you know, the guitar, where it's deep in the mix, buried in the mix, it takes the power out of those faster tracks. Like I said, vocalist is great. Reminds me of Dio stroke Tony Martin, that real powerful classic rock voice. But I'm going to run through each song anyway, and see what I think of them. Because like I said, it's not an awful album. It's a good album, but is it outstanding? No. Is it going to be there at the top of my albums at the end of the year? Probably not. But it's good at what it is. So if you like your classic rock, you like it proper, rainbow, you know, that sort of Deep Purple sort of sound, there's a good chance you'll like this. So starting off with Bogeyman. This is a fast classic rock track, Hammond organ. This is where the guitar really suffers, where it's not louder in the mix on these faster songs. But the vocalist does a brilliant job through this track and throughout every track on this album. So there's actually an Hammond organ solo in this before the solo. So, I mean, you know, I don't mind it now and again, Hammond organ, but not to be one of the main instruments. That's a problem for me. The next one is The Chosen One, a very good track actually, the second track. After a lot of it starts off with like a symphonic sort of sound music. It sort of kicks in with a great sort of Eastern feel. I love that in classic rock, that sort of Eastern Egyptian type feel. Very epic sounding. Again, you've got the Hammond organ running through the background. Obviously, there, you know, this is a big part of this band. The vocalist again, I know I'm going to say it lots, but he is really good. The outstanding part of this band for me. Next up is Free. This is like a slow to medium pace song. After a ballad type start, it goes into a sort of slow gallop, like that Heaven and Hell bass sort of gallop. Cool chorus, actually, uplifting chorus in this, brings a different feel to what we've heard so far on the album. Next up is The Hustler, a fast rocker, very Deep Purple-esque. This is where it suffers again for me, the faster songs. It's got that sort of burn feel, that Deep Purple burn feel. Wasn't a fan of Deep Purple, so maybe there's some people watching this who love Deep Purple who might love these faster sort of tracks. Next up is Love and Pray. So after a very sort of somber build-up, there's a great riff that kicks in and it turns into like one of the strongest songs on the album so far. But I'll tell you, there's something else that this album's missing. I know it sounds like I don't like the album, but I do. I think it's okay. But it could do with some backing vocals in places, or them to be stronger, or, you know, because it feels as if it needs a lift at certain parts of the song. The vocalist is doing a great job, but he can't do it all. So when it maybe comes to these choruses, it needs a bit of backing vocals to really lift it up, because otherwise it sounds very samey all the way through. Next up is The Endless Song. Just lay me down on top of a mountain. Doomy riff, Sabbathy riff, kicks off then into a sort of Tony Martin era sounding song, Sabbath sounding song. King of Rock and Roll, or King Rock and Roll, sorry, is next. Another one of those fast songs like the Bogeyman and the Hustler. Dad's got sort of doubled up backing vocals on this. I don't know if no one can sing apart from the vocalist, but there's definitely, like, the vocalist is either doubling up or someone is singing along with him. I wish the album had a little bit more of this. Although the King Rock and Roll ain't one of my favourites because it's one of those fast songs, the backing vocals helped it a lot. So I wish the album in general had more of that. Cry Baby Cries next. More of them Eastern melodies. A few odd time signatures running through this song, which is quite cool. And the backing vocals doubled up again. I think the keyboardist might be backing vocals actually. Next is The Lost Soul, or Lost Soul. Piano opening with vocals, great tone to the singer's voice on the quiet parts, amazing vocal performance. This is a real sort of melancholy sort of sound. I like this. It's a ballad. One of my favourite tracks so far, Lost Soul. Next is Prisoner. Again, then one of them fast songs. There's a few of these fast songs on here. This time though, broken up riffs in between the singing, so it does make a bit of a change. It's a little bit of, it's probably my favourite fast song out of all of the fast songs on the album. Next up, the actual last song on the album is called Liar. The song's okay. Vocals are, like, without doubt, the highlight on this song, as I think they are on the album in general. Odd time signatures again running through some of the songs. So this ain't a progressive album, by the way. It's very stuck in that classic rock genre. But, you know, the album in general, that's what I said. If you love that Deep Purple rainbow classic rock sound, and you like those sort of Hammond organ sort of songs, you could really like this. For me, you know, it's about the songs. If I listen to this album because I only wanted to hear the vocalist, it would be one of my favourite albums because the vocalist is absolutely fantastic. The guitar needs to be up in the mix more for me, but it is that way. It sounds like it was pulled straight out of the 70s. In, you know, though that mix then was like that. It was almost hand in hand. The guitar and the Hammond organ were hand in hand as, you know, the main instruments. That's how it is really on this album, a lot of it. So there you go. Not a bad album, you know, but not top of the list for me. But I'm honestly recommend it to you if you're really into, like I said, that Rainbow and Deep Purple sound. You will be happy with this album. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You probably think I'm full of shit. whether you agree with me, if you've heard the album, if you've got it and you disagree or agree, whatever, let me know in the comments below and I'll see you next time.